Later today, former President Donald Trump is going to sit down with Speaker Mike Johnson and NRCC Chair Richard Hudson at Mar-a-Lago to discuss how the Republican Party can hold its slim House majority. This as Republicans continue to ramp up black voter outreach, Trump campaigning at a black church in Detroit over the weekend. And it may be paying off because new polling out of Michigan and Pennsylvania show Biden losing ground with black supporters by double digits as Trump makes some modest gains. Here's with reaction. We got Fox News contributor David Webb. David, good morning.
Morning.
Okay.
You know I'm going to be here?
Yeah, I had a heads up. Indeed. So it's very smart of Trump to sit down with the speaker to talk about the state of the race when it comes to Congress, because if he's elected president, you need a Republican Congress to get stuff done.
Yeah, you do. And this is important. This is also part of the unity that's needed. Look, I'm going to apply the Reagan rule, right? What's attributed? My 80% friend, not my 20% enemy. Whatever those numbers are, the Republicans have to look at the bigger issue. The American people need to see the bigger platform. It's Republican policy and policy platform on economics, domestic security, foreign policy, all of this, which requires, as you said, all branches working together, the House and the Senate and the Congress, the executive, and then doing it constitutionally. So unlike Joe Biden, you don't end up in the Supreme Court getting told you can't do that. He does it anyway, but the Supreme Court weighed in.
Well, you know, and this is one of the reasons why the campaign, the Biden campaign is, you know, their hair's on fire because they're losing so many young voters. They're losing Hispanic voters. They're losing black voters. And part of it is the fact that the former president is going into places like Detroit, where over the weekend, on Saturday, he was reminding voters, I believe this was at a black church, about something that Joe Biden was instrumental in, and that was a 1994 crime bill. Listen to this.
You know, he walks around now talking about the black vote. He's the king of the super predators, and he wrote the 1994 crime bill that you talk about so much. I guess everybody here knows about that, especially if you happen to be black. And he was the one with the super predators, so just please remember that when you think you're going to vote Democrat.
And Joe Biden has tried his best to run away from that.
He's tried his best to run away from it, but what Joe Biden's done, 90s, 80s, 70s, think about how long he's been there. Whatever he needs to do, he does to come in. When he did this in 1994, there was an epidemic sweeping the nation, crack, other drugs as well.
Right.
But in Detroit and in those areas where they'd already lost population due to predictable failure with the labor unions, the car companies, they were losing population because they weren't getting educated. If you go beyond 8 Mile and go into other areas of Detroit, you see neighborhoods where it's not safe for anyone, black, white, or otherwise. And now they've lost more of their population. People aren't earning. So they're not educated, bad education system. They're failing. And for Trump to go to the 180 church sends a message to the country. He will go, and I've been telling Republicans this for years, go where you're not traditionally so-called welcome. The fact is your policies are welcome. Education, good jobs, safe communities, they want the very same thing. If they go to church, probably a lot of times to pray for, let's get through the week and pay our bills at the end of the month.
Well, while Donald Trump was there, you've got Joe Biden. He's going to a safe space. He went to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
He raised a ton of dough. There's a story in the Wall Street Journal. We were alluding to it at the top of the hour a little bit about how the Wall Street Journal says, sure, the establishment in Hollywood supports Joe Biden. The problem for Joe Biden is everybody's over 50. They need younger people.
So he's going to try to appeal to younger voters and poorer voters by going to rich Hollywood elites over 50. Okay, they tried it with social media influencers. Remember that campaign? TikTokers.
Oh, they're going to do that again.
But it didn't work. It didn't work because of where they are today. Younger voters are starting to look at their future. Gen Zers going, where's my shot? Whether you went to school or you went to a bad school or a good school, where's my shot economically? Poorer voters, younger voters are not so easily fooled anymore. They failed with the Instagrammers and the TikTokers. And now the Hollywood elites, they're going to get him money, but that money's meant to fool people. That Biden's really working for you well. When your median income is thousands below the state and you live in Detroit, when your per capita income is thousands, when you look around you and you see companies leaving, so you can't get a job if you happen to get an education, Is Joe Biden really working for you?
The X factor with the young people is if Taylor Swift comes out, as she did in 2020, she said, vote for Joe Biden. She does that again. That could actually get
you know what? I get that point, but I don't think it works the second time around. It's glitz and glamour the first time, but the fact is that people are starting to look at their reality,
right.
And now we have a 4-year to 4-year comparison. And think about it, the rapper who said it, he goes, I can look at 4 years of Biden, 4 years of Trump. They can see it. They don't have to agree with Trump, but the policies, the economic policy, the jobs policy, hit those issues. That's what matters.
All right. David Webb, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.